Hello, welcome to my introduction class on essential oils. I have a few things I want to talk to you about today that will help you get a little better understanding of what essential oils are and how you can use them, and what benefit they might be to you and your family. I'm first going to talk about my journey with essential oils, what got me started using them, and why I now love them and use them on a daily basis. I'll talk a little bit about what they are and what is so great about them, and how you can use them in your home for different health issues, for aromatic purposes, for mood help, and things like that. I'll talk about what my favorite essential oils are so that you get a little bit of an idea about which essential oils might be good for your family. I'll talk a little bit about common health issues like headaches, stomach problems, colds, flus, different things that most families fight occasionally, and ways that essential oils and which essential oils can help those. I'll give you a few resources that you can use to look up or learn more about essential oils, and look up ways that they can help you in specific situations you might have in your home. And then I'll give you a little bit of information about doTERRA essential oils and their company, and why it is such a great option for essential oils, and why their essential oils and company is a little bit different than what you might find at your local health food store. For starters, let's talk about how I got started with essential oils. These are my three daughters, and they at one point were sick with colds, and I was just looking for natural alternatives to help them get better, or help them at least manage their symptoms that they were fighting, the coughing, the stuffy noses, and just help them sleep a little bit better and things like that while they were fighting it. And a friend of mine offered me some samples of essential oils. Now, I had used essential oils in the past as air fresheners in my home after researching a little bit about the toxins and the dangers of using just regular air fresheners, plug-ins, and things like that in your home. But I hadn't really used them much for health issues. And I think in the one time in the past that I tried to use eucalyptus, I just wasn't seeing a big results from what I had gotten at the health food store. So, but she offered them to me and told me these were different and I should try them. And sure enough, when I did, my daughters were able to fight those symptoms a little bit better, and they were able to sleep and just function while fighting that cold. And I was just really happy with the results that we saw from that. And also, I had some stomach trouble, and she had given me a sample of the digestive blend, which is called Digestin from doTERRA. And I had a stomach ache one day, and I remembered that I had that sample and used it, and within just a couple minutes max, my stomach trouble was gone. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. I thought this must be a fluke. But sure enough, the next time I had some stomach trouble and I tried it, it was gone. And I was just really amazed and thrilled with what essential oils could do. And I was just very excited. And one of the reasons I was excited was because I wasn't really happy with what I was seeing in the healthcare industry. $6.5 trillion are spent globally on healthcare. And at the same time, every major disease is on the rise. Prescription drugs are a huge problem when it comes to drug addiction, more so than the drugs you think of when you think of drug addiction, like cocaine or heroin. There's more people addicted to prescription drugs than any other type of drug. And it's not good. The people who are most addicted to prescription drugs are women between the ages of 35 and 45, which flabbergasted me. I couldn't believe that it was women at home with their kids who are probably the ones that are most addicted to antidepressants and pain relievers. Also, between the years of 1999 and 2006, I learned that overdose deaths had tripled. And we have to, of course, accredit a lot of this to prescription drugs, since they're the ones that most people are addicted to. So that's eye-opening to me, and I thought there has to be a better way or a different way that we can fight our health issues naturally. And I think a big part of this is diet. Our diet can play a big part in our health, the health of our families and our society. But I think as a nice tool while we're dealing with these essential oils is great. They're completely natural. I feel like it's kind of God's gift to earth, as a way that we can naturally fight the things that we have to deal with from time to time. I mentioned that antidepressants were the number one, well, maybe I didn't mention, but antidepressants were the number one abused drug followed by pain relievers. But guess which age group has the highest rise in antidepressants prescriptions? This breaks my heart. It's preschoolers. And this just totally makes, something has to change. We don't want the same future for our kids as we are seeing pan out from the use of prescription drugs and the effects of them. Synthetic drugs have tons of side effects. I think this is part of the problem. If you've seen any commercial about a prescription drugs, half the commercial is the side effects that you might incur when using that particular prescription drugs. This isn't the case when it comes to essential oils. If you're using them, the side effects that you're going to have are completely positive. Because your body naturally recognizes an essential oil, it's going to use it for many different areas or problems that your body might be dealing with. Because they're natural, your body is natural, they just recognize each other and work well together. Whereas prescription drugs, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but prescription drugs are created for one specific purpose, and your body will only use it for that purpose. So anyway, let's talk about what essential oils are a little bit. Essential oils are natural aromatic compounds found in plants. If you look here at this picture on the right, this is a peppermint leaf magnified hundreds and hundreds of times, and the little white bubbles on there are oil sacs, and that's where the essential oils are found. Now these oils are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. In one drop of peppermint essential oil, it's the equivalent of 28 cups of tea, of peppermint tea. So these are very powerful oils. Their chemical structure, like I mentioned, it just reacts really well with our bodies. Our bodies easily recognize them and use them for a lot of different things. It's very important to know the quality of the essential oils that you're using. doTERRA's essential oils, which I'll talk a little bit more about doTERRA later, they are different than most essential oils that you will come across. I'm sure that you have already come across essential oils today. You can find them in your shampoos, your soaps, some foods, a lot of different things that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, but essential oils are not all created equal. They're very different. Most essential oils out there are synthetic. I had a piece of gum, a very unnatural piece of gum the other day, and I was chewing it, and it tasted like one of the essential oils that I use, and I was very surprised, and I thought, oh, but this one is synthetic, or it's actually probably grass, the food grade, which is the next type that I'll talk about. Synthetic is what's found in most perfumes and perfume scents that you find in shampoos and soaps and different things. Another type of essential oil is food grade, and that's grass standard. It's generally regarded as safe for consumption. These are the essential oils that you might find in Cheese Whiz or different foods that you eat that have natural flavors in it. Then there is a much smaller amount that's considered therapeutic grade, and those carry health benefits. And then there's doTERRA essential oils, which are certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. They're tested at seven different levels to be sure that the essential oil that you are using is in fact completely pure, and that there is nothing in it that is not supposed to be in it. There's no artificial ingredients, fragrances, or fillers. They're tested for all of that. They're tested to be sure that they are free of pesticides and other chemical residues. They're also tested to be sure that they are very potent, that all of the chemical compounds in them are intact and are the way that they're supposed to be. doTERRA's essential oils are harvested from their places where they've grown for years and years and years and years. For instance, the lavender is from Italy. The frankincense, I think, is from like Oman or somewhere where it's grown for years and years. Other essential oils will grow on farms here in the United States. They'll have farms specifically for their essential oils. And to be honest, they're just not as good of a product as they are when they're grown where they're from, where they're naturally from. Something I appreciate about doTERRA is when they harvest things, they harvest the part that is the best part of the plant for you. They're not just going to grab the whole plant and try to rip essential oils out of all of it. They're going to take the leaves of the peppermint only, not the stem or the stalk, but they're going to use the parts that are the most effective and going to have the best fragrance and the best use in your body. They're just great essential oils. So what is so great about essential oils? Tell me. These are 3 things that I think are wonderful about using essential oils and what they can do. Number 1, they're safe. You're not going to put together some frankincense and myrrh and have an explosion in your kitchen. You cannot make bad things happen by mixing 2 together. In fact, my kids will put essential oils on themselves. I'll have some diluted in a container, and the girls will go find it and put it on their feet when they need it and medicate themselves. It's 100% natural and safe for them to use. Essential oils are very effective. They can penetrate cells. Cells have an oily membrane on the outside, and in fact a lot of prescription drugs can't penetrate the cell because they're water-based, and of course water and oil don't quite mix. And that's the reason when you have threats inside of the cell, a lot of times people, or they'll say, well, you're just going to have to wait it out and wait for it to get better. But doTERRA essential oils can effectively can effectively deal with those threats that are even inside of the cell. In fact, this picture here at the top shows a person. The first sample is of a person's blood cells before they used Balance essential oil. And Balance essential oil is a grounding blend. It's great for anxiety, depression, attention deficit, things like that. And 30 seconds later, they took this second sample of the blood, and it's healthy. It looks the way it's supposed to look. The blood cells, they were moving about freely in the way that they're supposed to. Just amazing, the power that essential oils can have on a cellular level. Yes. Something else that's wonderful, and as I mentioned, they're absorbed within 30 seconds that sample was taken. Essential oils get into your bloodstream and are able to work at a systemic level very quickly. Another thing that's great about essential oils is that they're inexpensive. When you look at the prices of doTERRA essential oils, honestly, you'll look and say, these are not that inexpensive. But when you consider that you're using 1 drop at a time, there's like 250 drops, I want to say, in the 15 milliliter bottle. So when you're using them 1 drop at a time, they are very inexpensive. If you consider if your child had an ear infection and you had to pay a copay and go get a generic medication, what that would cost. The counter side is if you're going to use essential oils, you can use 2. I heard a story of a person who used 2 drops of lavender and 2 drops of melaleuca right outside their child's ears, and they were better within 12 hours. And that cost 64 cents. So I'm sure that the copay and the generic medication costs more than that. Even if you're using them for a matter of days, it's still going to cost you less than most people would pay for a copay and a generic medication. So they're fairly inexpensive when you consider how much and how long those bottles will last you. Yeah, so let's talk about different ways that you can use doTERRA's essential oils. They can be used 3 different ways. We can use them aromatically. We can diffuse them in a room or to purify the air or to change an emotion. Aromatically, good ways to use those would probably be, or good times to use those would be if you had respiratory problems or the flu. You can put in some Purity essential oil to clean the air, or you could use Breathe, which is an amazing essential oil, which I'll talk about later, which helps open up those airways and helps you breathe better when you're fighting a cold or stuffiness. Another way you can use essential oils is topically. You can apply it directly to your skin. You can add it to oils for massage, or you can just use it topically for medical purposes. Some reasons you might use those is sore muscles or bug bites. My daughter had a scratch on her face the other day from her baby sister, and we put lavender on it, and within just a couple days that scratch was gone. She had gotten a new one from her baby sister, but that one's gone now too. So They're very effective to use topically. Another way that you can use doTERRA essential oils is internally. You can consume them as a dietary supplement for targeted wellness. Some reasons you might use that is digestive. The Digest Zen that I was talking about earlier, I could have very well put that on my tongue instead of my stomach. In fact, now I do pretty often. You can use them for internally. You can use them for candida. There's a candida cleanse that you can do with essential oils that requires taking some of the essential oils internally, and it's very effective. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can use them. There are some safety issues that you do have to be aware of when using essential oils. They are very safe and gentle without side effects, particularly doTERRA's essential oils. Their Melaleuca is like tea tree oil. It's the same thing, except for doTERRA's is much safer than what you might get at the health food store. If you look at the ones at the health food store, they'll say don't take it internally, for one thing. And also, they will burn your skin if you're to use too much. You have to be very careful. But doTERRA's Melaleuca is much more gentle and, of course, safe. You do have to keep essential oils out of your eyes, ears, and nose. And you always want to, if for some reason there's a hotter essential oil, there are a couple that are hot, and you'll notice that those have the red D on the bottle, and it says to dilute it. But when diluting those, you'll want to dilute those with oil, not water. Oil and water, again, don't mix. So if you put an essential oil on your body and it's a hot one and it burns, you don't want to try to wash that off with water. You want to put essential oil on it to try to remove the burning or dilute that oil. With my children, if I'm using an essential oil that's a little bit more powerful, I will dilute it. I'll put it in a roller bottle, a couple drops of essential oil with a couple tablespoons of a carrier oil, which you can use anything really. You can use any type of vegetable oil. I use grapeseed oil, almond oil, sesame oil, avocado oil. You can use any type of oil that you want to. Just be sure that you're looking at those bottles and following all the label directions, and you will be good to go. The primary issue that you could face with essential oils is just skin sensitivity. So be sure that with children, you're diluting those oils. And even with you, you're paying attention to those bottles to be sure that one isn't one that needs to be diluted. Now let's talk about a few of my favorite essential oils. We'll start with lavender. Lavender is a very popular oil, and it is for good reason. It's just an awesome oil. It's a very calming oil. Sometimes when I'm homeschooling my kids, if they're just a little bit out of whack, I'll diffuse a little lavender in the room and they'll calm down and they'll be able to focus on their schoolwork a little bit better. You can diffuse it in a room to calm anxiety or soothe emotions. Also, just because it smells wonderful, I'll diffuse it in our house sometimes if we're having company or if I just want the house to smell nice. Lavender is one of my absolute favorites. You can apply it topically to soothe irritated skin and lips. My daughter had a cold sore on her lips, and we're using lavender and Melaleuca. Like I said, when she had a scratch, we used lavender, and it was gone super quickly. You can massage it on your back or the bottom of your feet and apply it to your pillow at bedtime to help calm you down and help you sleep better. Yeah, and you can apply it to bee stings and bug bites to help with those issues too. Also, another popular one and a great one is lemon. I use this one in my water daily. It helps detoxify your body, and it just tastes wonderful in your water. Of course, you always want to put it in a glass container, not a plastic container, as it will eat away at the plastic since it is a citrus oil. Yeah, but you can add a drop of honey and to help soothe a dry throat. You can diffuse it in a room to neutralize odors and elevate your mood. And you can use it for cleaning. I add it to water, and the girls will use it to help clean the house. You can take it internally with water as an antioxidant and detoxifier, as I mentioned before. And these symbols down here at the bottom, those were on the sheet that talked about safety. You can use this. The A is for aromatic, T is for topically, and the I means that you can ingest it. And the N just means that you can apply it neat. You don't have to dilute this oil, and it shouldn't cause skin sensitivity. Peppermint is another popular one. You can use this one with lemon and water for a healthy, refreshing mouth rinse. It helps with headaches. It can help invigorate you and waken you up a little bit. It also helps calm tension if you use this with lavender oil. It's a great oil. Melaleuca is another wonderful one. This one, as I said, it's sometimes called tea tree oil. This is a great first aid for your skin. You can apply it as part of a cleansing program. This is great for acne. You can apply this directly to any outbreaks you might have. You can use it with shampoo and conditioner for healthy scalp and hair. And you can apply it to feet and toenails after showering, swimming, or working out. This is great for toe fungus, athlete's foot, different things like that. This would be a good oil option for you. I'm trying to think of other ways that I use Melaleuca. We use this one all the time. It's just a great oil for first aid purposes. You can use this one for cuts and stuff as well. Oregano, this is a very hot oil. This is one that does need to be diluted. You can take this periodically in a gel cap for immune support. It's very powerful. I do recommend taking it in a gel cap. You can't just put drops of this one on your tongue as it is pretty hot. You can dilute it and apply it to the bottom of your feet, kids' feet or your feet as a natural defense. Or you can use it internally as part of a monthly cleansing regimen for GI health. Candida, this one can be taken with some other oils to help do a candida cleanse, and it's very effective and very not very hard on you either, if you know what I mean. Frankincense is an awesome oil. This one can be used for almost anything. It has so many benefits. You can see on the bottom it says, when in doubt, use frankincense. Frankincense can be used for almost anything. You can use this one on cuts and scrapes. You can use it with a carrier oil for beautiful, radiant skin. I have frankincense. I use the oil cleansing method for my face, and I have frankincense in my cleanser because it's great for your skin. You can put it on the bottom of your feet for immune function, just like the others, and you can use it as well to calm stress and tension. If you start looking up what oils to use for different things that you may face, oftentimes you'll find frankincense because it's just a versatile. This one is great for sore muscles and joints. You can rub it on your just a drop on your muscles, like as close to the area that's bothering you as possible, and it will reduce the discomfort that you're facing. It's also great for deep tissue massage if you mix it with a carrier oil. This oil, I've had people with sore muscles, dancers, athletes who will use Deep Blue and just love it for its ability to really help those sore muscles. Breathe, I'd mentioned a little bit before. This is the respiratory blend. This one you can apply topically across your nose. You can apply it on your feet. You can put it in a diffuser, and this really helps you to get better sleep because it does open up those airways and help any respiratory discomfort that you might have. Digest Zen, I've talked quite a bit about. This one is great for digestive discomfort, nausea, motion sickness, morning sickness, just any type of tummy trouble or nausea. It's just a wonderful oil to help ease those issues. It is on sale this month, but this is, I think, the last or next to last day of the month, so you'd have to get in real quick to get that deal. On Guard is an awesome one. This is the protective blend. It can be diffused in a room to help kill those environmental threats that might be floating around. I'll take a drop every day if I know that there are things going around that I don't want to catch. You can take it in a gel cap or on your feet or on your tongue for added immune support. It is one of doTERRA's most popular essential oils for good reason. It's a really awesome one. It's the most researched, and it is really good about preventative medicine. It's also shown to be effective against MRSA, which, if you know anything about it, it's one that is very hard to fight. So yeah, here let's talk about a few health issues that people fight and what you can use for those. For headaches, peppermint, frankincense, past tense are all good options. Past tense is doTERRA's specific blend for tension headaches. Some people find that peppermint works better for them. It's just different for different people, but past tense has worked well for me. Colds and coughs and flu and fever. Some great essential oils to use for that are On Guard. As I mentioned before, it's very preventative. It's great if you can use that right when you notice that something is coming. In fact, all of these for cold, cough, and flu, minus the breathe, because that really helps with symptoms, that they're best to use right when you notice that those things are coming on. Oregano, we talked about, is a great one. Breathe for those respiratory problems you might face, even allergies. If you're fighting allergies and just feel very plugged up, that breathe can really help. Peppermint and lime work great for a fever. And the thing you need to notice is if you are using peppermint for a fever and a half hour later the fever comes back and you think this isn't working, just put more peppermint on them. You cannot OD on essential oils. You need to just keep using it, because what it means is your body has just used up what you've put in it. So you need to just keep applying. Poo 4321 is just a popular recipe that we use in our house. This is P for peppermint oil, O for oregano, O for On Guard, and F for frankincense. It's 4321 because it's 4 drops of peppermint, 3 drops of oregano, 2 drops of On Guard, and 1 drop of frankincense. I took one of these this morning because I felt a little cold coming on when I woke up. And with my children, I put that same recipe in a roller bottle and fill the rest with oil, and they use that when they're fighting something or feel something coming on. We just rub that on their feet. I took mine straight in a gel cap this morning, and I feel just fine. So yeah, those are some of the good ones for colds and flus that you might fight. For injuries, bites, and stings, lavender works great. Melaleuca works great, as I had mentioned before. They're both pretty effective for both of those problems. For cleaning, you can really use anything that you like the smell of. We use lemon and lavender around here. You can use melaleuca, lemongrass, whatever you use. I tend to use whatever's least expensive just because I put a lot in my cleaners, and if I like the way it smells and it does the job, it doesn't have to be something really expensive if it's working. For nausea and indigestion, Digest Zen can really help with that. Peppermint also is effective. If you'll remember when you were young, maybe your mom or grandma said to have a cup of peppermint tea, and peppermint essential oil works the same for that, only a little bit more powerfully. For mood, Citrus Bliss is a great uplifting blend. It's a orange. It smells like creamsicles a little bit, and it's great to diffuse around the house to help lift the mood. Serenity is a great calming one. I use Serenity with vetiver at nighttime for my kids if they aren't sleeping very well. Elevation, Balance is the one that I showed you the clip of before, that helps with anxiety, depression, attention deficit. Frankincense, of course, is good for everything. Lavender, I mentioned, was calming. And geranium, I have on my list, but I actually would have to look up because I don't even remember what it was good for. But I'll give you a resource here in a minute so that you can look that up and find out what you want to use it for. For sleep, as I'd mentioned, Serenity, vetiver, lavender, all of those work wonderfully. Here's some resources that you can use to help you as you begin using essential oils. Everythingessential.me allows you to look up either essential oils to see what their uses are, or you can look up your health concern and it will tell you the best protocol to take using essential oils to help fight that. Aromatools.com is a great place to buy books or handouts, catalogs, things like that that have information about essential oils. Also roller bottles if you want to dilute those essential oils for your use or children's use. MyOilBusiness.com is similar to Aromatools.com. The Modern Essentials book is absolutely amazing. It talks about all of the chemical background or information with essential oils. It talks about specific essential oils and everything about them and more that you would want to know. Plus it also lists in the back many different health issues and what oils work best for those. It's an awesome book. I use it almost daily, if not daily. Facebook groups, there's a lot of groups that you can look up out there about using essential oils that will help you figure out what's worked for different individuals for different health concerns. So that's a great resource as well. Let me talk a little bit about doTERRA. doTERRA essential oils, I talked about their quality and why I think they're better. I have seen results with doTERRA essential oils that I frankly just haven't seen with other brands. With doTERRA, they have the opportunity for you to sign up with them, and I think it's $35 a year unless you're buying one of their introduction kits. If you buy one of their kits, you get membership automatically. That for that $35, you get 25% off of every oil that you buy. I recommend buying the kits getting started because it's just a lot more bang for your buck. You get all of the essential oils that you'll want to use getting started, and a lot of information and resources with that. The other benefits of being in doTERRA and signing up is that you have the opportunity to share those samples with friends and get benefits back from whatever they purchase. It is a multi-level. I've never been a huge fan of multi-level companies. However, with doTERRA, I'm a huge fan, and I think it's the best way to run a business like this one, simply because you have mentorship as you're starting to use these. I call Sarah my sensei, who signed me up, with any questions I might have, and I can really learn and glean from the experiences she's had with her essential oils and the journey that she's taken with it. So I really love doTERRA as a company as well. If you're interested in buying any doTERRA essential oils, or you simply have questions, or you want to look at products, I've put my website here below. Please go, just check it out, look around and see what you think. And again, if you have questions, email me. I did not put my email address on a slide. What was I thinking? So I will just tell you, my email address is Sarah K. Knierim. It's SarahKKnierim @gmail.com. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me and ask me those. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, just go ahead and message me a question or email me or text me or whatever, and I would be happy to answer any questions. I hope you found all of this information helpful. I really feel like anyone that has used doTERRAs, anyone who I've given samples to, has really loved these oils and seen the doTERRA difference and why they are worth your time and your investment and using in your home as a natural healthcare alternative. So I hope this information has been very helpful for you. This is the Family Physician Kit. This is one of the kits that doTERRA offers. I think it's $150 and it includes 10 different oils of their most used oils. It has the Digest Zen, the On Guard, the frankincense, and the Deep Blue, and all of the others that are shown there for $150, which is pretty good. They're 5 milliliter bottles. For $100 more, you get the 15 milliliter bottles, which is what I started out with, and it was just more bang for my buck, and I'm really glad that I started out that way. So if you're interested, go ahead and check out my website, call me, email me, and thanks for listening to this class. I appreciate you taking the time, and I really hope that it's been helpful for you. God bless.